Creative block isn't the end, it's an invitation, at least in our world. Hey, everybody, it is Megan Holly, and this is the Magic Made podcast. And we've got Chrissy Sherry with us again today.
Yay.
And of course, we're going to dive into some creative talk. We're going to kind of talk about getting unstuck because I don't know where or who you are if you've never felt stuck in some way in life, whether it's in a relationship, a business endeavor, whatever. Feeling stuck is just kind of a human experience.
Yeah.
But especially as two creatives, I feel like we kind of take a different look or take on what that can feel like and
Yeah.
have different perspectives, probably,
Mhm.
I'm going to imagine, on
Yeah.
how we get unstuck.
Yeah.
Or do we?
Well, we have two very different mediums, so.
Yes, two different mediums. Yeah, two different ways. And although we have a lot of similarities, even in our personalities, we have differences as well, too,
Yeah.
of course, like just naturally. So I feel like that pulls into play is how people get stuck, stay stuck,
Yeah.
and then become unstuck.
Mhm.
So, yeah, let's just dive right into
Let me
it.
get comfortable.
Yeah, like just shift around a little bit. Yeah, this is a call to you actually on as you're listening or watching. If you are able, if you're, I know sometimes I'll listen to podcasts when I'm like actively like working or editing or whatnot. But if you're not doing that, if you can get comfy with us, come in, get cozy,
Yeah.
kick your shoes off,
Yeah.
just chill, whatever. Grab your favorite bev and just sip and sit. So let's just start, I guess, with what feels very obvious is for you, Chrissy, what
Yeah.
does feeling stuck feel like to you? Like, what is the actual essence of the feeling?
For me, it's actually like a mind body feeling. So it's like on the physiological level. So like in my body, I just feel like almost like stiff. Like my body just feels like I can't move or I can't stretch or bend or I'm can't touch my toes. I just feel stagnant. And then mentally I feel super frustrated. And it's like, and then even when I get like an inspiration or an idea for something, and then it's like, then you hit that block and you're just like, and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like, it's literally like a brick wall. Like, why can't I walk over to my easel and get that out of me? Like, what, and it's like almost like a confusing, frustrating, like awful, like yucky feeling.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not being myself or something, or I'm not being true to me in a way.
Ooh, and we want to be true to ourselves. So that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, no, it feels awful. And it just makes me want to curl in a ball and just like do nothing.
Yeah, which feels like much more easy sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with that because for me, my stuck feelings come in my chest. Like I feel like I can't breathe. I mean, I have a lifelong kind of interesting relationship with my breath anyways because of my anxiety. I always like would feel like I couldn't get a deep breath. And so when I'm at my most stuck or anxious, they kind of like, to me, they kind of teeter-totter, which is actually very interesting to think about. They kind of live together.
Yeah.
Because if I'm feeling super stuck, my anxiety will start to come out because then I'm like, all the questions, right? Like, am I in the wrong place? Am I doing the wrong thing? Am I, should I, could I, would I? Like, whatever. So for me, it lives here. Like this, I literally feel stuck. Like my rib cage feels tight. Like to go get a full deep breath, it feels like I have to work for it, which is absolutely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially long term,
Right?
Like once or twice, okay, like days after day after day, it's like, please let me just breathe. And like, obviously I'm breathing because I'm living, but like, it doesn't feel like it a lot of times. And sometimes it feels strained or labored in a way, and not like in a medical way where I'm like actually gasping for air, but like it's just not there. It doesn't feel good.
And isn't that crazy? Like that it is like such a a physical feeling too.
Yeah.
Like you would never think, like people who are not creative obviously don't understand it, but like when you do have that block, it is like a physical sensation.
Yeah, it's like it holds
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And this also for me too translates even just in the creative space for sure, but even if it gets big enough in other places of my life where I'm feeling just really stuck
Yeah.
and like uncomfortable, like maybe there's a conversation I should have been having,
Mm.
like with my
Yeah.
husband or something, even if something as simple as that. Like I'm very comfortable with my husband, but there's times we all know, like you're still kind of like,
Right. Yeah.
like I want to touch on this topic, but I don't know
Yeah.
how to, so I won't. And then all of a sudden you're like, ugh, like you feel so many things. So,
Mhm.
add on the creative layers and the this and the that and the just everyday life. And gosh, it's really hard to feel like you're in the middle of it. So, um, for you, like when misalignment starts kind of happening for
Yeah.
you, whether it's like projects you're taking on or just whatever,
Mhm.
yeses that you should be saying no to.
Yeah.
How do you identify that? Like, so if you already have the feeling, I guess what I'm getting at is if you already feel, this tightness and stiffness happening when you're stuck, like in a
Mhm.
stuck situation or season, how do you identify like what the misalignment is, I guess, or like where you can kind of tap into to like move through that differently?
I think identify it with like I can't think of another word but gusto.
Ooh,
But
gusto.
like the amount of excitement, that's the word I'm looking for. The amount of excitement that I have like sitting down and doing the thing.
Yeah,
Like so
yeah,
like for example, if you have like a horrible, awful, mean client, I'm not going to be apt to sit down and be like, "Yay! I'm so excited to make
true.
this cool logo for this super mean person." Like my
Why
excitement and my
not?
gusto is not going to be as bright and shiny
Yeah,
as it would be if I was designing for, um, a healer or another artist or another creative, something that lights me up.
yeah.
And I think that's like my first red flag. Like, shoot, like I'm feeling a little less inspired, to put it
Mm.
nicely.
Yes, yes, a little less, yes.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. We've had a conversation recently about, yeah, that I feel like just having to move through things and having hard clients, and sometimes it's no fault to their own. It's just like the expectations in which they're surrounded by as well. So it's like you have to
Hmm.
take a moment and go, okay, this is their reality, but also it doesn't have to be mine.
Right. Hmm.
Other people's realities do not have to be yours. That's a
Hmm.
little reminder.
If
But it's
you
really
if you
hard.
are creating for somebody else, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
and I think I love that you brought that up, that, like, you have to take a little bit of energy and stock into the idea
yeah.
of what is the misalignment here. It is the project, the person, or sometimes it's not as tangible as that. I'm sorry to say that for anybody who's, like, wants something to be so very
Hmm.
specific, but sometimes it's like the misalignment is that, you're not giving yourself enough space to
Hmm.
feel creative and get unstuck. So sometimes there's no like outward, at least for me,
Yeah,
I feel like there's no outward um thing that I could use as like a scapegoat.
yeah.
And then I'm like, oh damn, I'm stuck because of myself.
Mm,
Because I'm not giving myself space, because I'm crowding my schedule too much, right? Nobody else is making me do that. You
yeah.
can say, "Oh, that person asked for this deadline or this date," but you still have autonomy to say, I
Right.
can't meet that deadline. What I can do for you is this, right? So, like, there's ways around it. So, if we're using
Yeah.
everybody else as the excuse for staying stuck or feeling heavy, sometimes we have to take accountability.
That's like the worst type of stuckness when it's all your fault and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna talk to me? Talk to me. Like who's gonna talk me out of this? Who's gonna be my inspiration? Gosh darn it.
Yeah, yeah. Because the conversation with self is the
Mm,
hardest one sometimes,
yeah.
right? Like I will avoid hard situations because I don't like confrontation. That's great, but having a hard conversation with myself,
Mm,
even worse,
yeah.
because you just kinda keep going like, "Well, tomorrow I'll think about it differently. Tomorrow I'll rework my schedule. Tomorrow I'll start that project that I know I need to," whatever it is, and then tomorrow comes and you're like, maybe next week, maybe
Mm,
next week." Whereas if there's at least somebody else in it, you have, like, a little, like,
yeah.
possibility that they're going to pull you to the other side, for better or for worse.
Right.
But at least you're like moving, you know?
Right. And when it's all you, it's like an internal battle that no one around you is no one else is experiencing, you know?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
like they may see you struggling or upset or mad or angry or whatever it is. But they are not feeling what you're feeling inside, and yeah, you're right. It has a lot to do with you and yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Those little mini misalignments where we think, oh, well, I will stretch my boundary here, or I'll, do that there. Like they feel okay in the moment because they're minute maybe in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And those misfires are going to happen. But if you continue compounding on them is when the problem arises,
Right.
and then you're like, wow, I thought I was stuck then.
Yeah.
Now I'm really stuck because I keep just saying, you know, sure, 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 or whatever, or not doing the project, or, putting off the thing. And then you're like,
Mhm.
now this is a much bigger pool that I'm swimming to the top of,
Yeah.
with no air or oxygen,
Right.
which doesn't feel good.
Right.
I just went back to like being a kid when you go too far down
Yeah.
and you're like,
In the
you're
pool.
like trying to get
You're like,
up.
where's the top? Where's the top?
It's so scary.
I'm
You're like,
almost
oh
there.
my gosh, it's terrifying. So sorry. I just had like a visceral reaction to that visualization. I was like, everybody take a deep breath. That
Right.
must mean we all just need a little moment. So
Mhm.
there we go. Get some beautiful air. Okay, so on the kind of more light side of the stuck, just to shift the conversation a little bit,
Mm.
what is something that 9 times out of 10, hopefully anyways, gets you feeling a little, even if it's not completely to the other side of the stuck,
Yeah.
feeling a little bit more like juiced up and moving in the right direction?
Like unstuck.
Yeah.
For me, it is working with a medium that I have no control over. So, like alcohol inks, I don't know. For those of you that are not familiar with alcohol inks, it's just a process of using alcohol and ink, special inks, and putting them on whatever surface you deem acceptable that day. And then just kind of blowing the colors around, using a blow dryer or a straw or something like that. But you literally have like no real control over what the fluid is going to do. So it's, going to the left when you want it to go to the right, or there's a gust, you're doing it outside and there's a gust of wind, and or there's something blows onto your canvas while you're working with it. And it's stepping into those mediums. Even watercolor for me, that's a hard medium for me, because it takes so much thought um, and planning of what color lays down first, and if you want to change, you can't go back and
Yeah. Yeah.
and put white over a mistake or anything like that. So the mediums that take me out of my comfort zone are what in turn gets me unstuck, because it almost forces me to tap into that creative side of my brain and pull out whatever I jammed in there to make myself stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those two mediums, even just like a free doodle on a page and just kind of seeing where it takes me, something that I have full lack of control is usually what gets me unstuck, because typically for me, being unstuck is, I've found, it's somewhere, someplace I'm trying to control something or have like 100% control over,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work. Life doesn't work like that.
It does not. I've
Unfortunately.
definitely know that to be true.
All right. Mm-hmm.
But I love that. And I love the visualization of the alcohol inks, because although I've never really worked with them per se, I do know how they act, and I've
Yeah.
seen, them in action. And so I love that, because it's kind of just like letting the movement take over, which is kind of a good segue to my answer, which,
Yeah. What do you do?
well,
Dance.
yeah. I know it's so cliche. Like,
We
oh,
know
she's gonna say
that.
dance. I mean, but that really to me though, that's the same idea because like when you're just like freestyling dancing and it's not like some choreographed situation. And I feel like the probably same with yoga, like, right? Like
Yeah.
there's like the formulas for
Mhm.
it, but there's also just a way to just like do it and flow.
Yeah.
And so for me, like that is my alcohol ink because for me, I don't like I from a lifelong of being calculated
Mhm.
in creation, in
Yeah.
dance, in just anything in my photography, like knowing what's supposed to look like and what it, all these things. It's like the one thing because for me for photography, it's like there is an end look that it like there's not like a lot of ways to just like unless you're just gonna create something really wild and wonky. It's like there's just like a little less wiggle room, I suppose, but maybe that's just me thinking closed-mindedly. Maybe I'll come back in a couple episodes and go, "Actually, guys, I figured out a way to be more playful." I think in photography, I guess I do digress, and I take that back. There is a way, and it's
Mhm.
not necessarily in the editing process, it's in the playful process. It would
Mm.
be like when I shoot with you.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a goal in mind, and yes, we have inspiration in mind, but we just play.
Mhm.
So it's for fun,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
it's like this way of like you become a muse for
Mm.
just like boom, ideas versus some other clients it might be like, okay, I have to like really think about the exact outcome.
Yeah.
And which I don't really operate like that, but sometimes it's still just natural to do that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess there is that just being playful. Or I did like a session in the sunflower field and they did like festival makeup.
Oh, fun.
And like the one girl had like fairy wings on
Yeah.
and like a crochet top purely for fun.
Mhm.
Nobody was getting paid. Nobody was doing it for anything, not even a portfolio, nothing. Like it was just
Yeah.
for fun. And those are some of still to this day. And that was pretty earlier on in my like come up of my career, especially tapping into like that kind of a world so early on. And it was like such still some of my favorite photos.
Yeah.
But yes, but then from the energetic side of it, dance always, I will never not bring that up because it's just a reminder that, like, when you are feeling, like, if I can't articulate, then I need to move.
Mm.
If I can't speak clearly, I just stumbled over a word. Maybe I need to dance right now. No, I'm just kidding. But like when I used to do the podcast from home,
Mm.
something about being here really brings it out and I can speak so much more fluidly. But at home, there was this like stuck point. And
Yeah.
when I was recording episodes, just sitting at my freaking computer desk trying to do it, I would have to get up and dance and just put on music. But there's that fluidity about just being like, nobody's watching me. I have no idea where my arms or my legs are gonna go. I'm just gonna be a one of those wavy guys in the wind at the gas station. And that's it. And
Mhm.
then most of the time I go back and I go, oh, I see a fresh eye if I am editing, or I can speak more clearly, or I
Yeah.
can, okay, I can be a little bit more productive right now if I'm
Mm.
getting emails done or something, right? That all those
Yeah.
normal life things. It's just real to me. And, it's a beautiful thing. So I love that our answers are similar, just different. Like the
Mhm.
fluidity
Yeah.
really is what it comes down to in
Like
a sense.
letting go of that control, letting go of that vision of the outcome that you're hoping for,
Hmm. Yeah.
and knowing that the outcome is going to be the outcome no matter what, and it's going to be perfect the
Hmm.
way that it needs to be,
Yeah.
and um, anything forced is not good for anyone,
Yeah.
right? So,
No. I mean, really, honestly, true. If you put that kind of language into anything,
mm,
it's not going to be good. It's just not.
right.
You force a relationship that just isn't working.
Hmm.
What's the outcome going to be? I don't know, but it's probably not going to be good. There's
Right.
800 different scenarios that it could come out to, but most likely, if it's being forced and pushed, not going to be good. You push a creative project. I know I've done projects that were rushed in timelines, and
Yeah.
I've tried to explain to the person, hey, like if we give it a little breathe room, we'll have more time to like think.
Yeah.
I had a client cry in a voice note to me once because they were
Mm.
so stuck in who they were at the core of it. Like they could like I usually give people a questionnaire and it just asks, I mean, nothing like give me your soul or whatever, but
Yeah.
like just asks like, what are some words that come to mind when you think of yourself or your business? Like are you whimsical? Are you, more serious and moody, like whatever. So just some questions and she was like, you know, having a hard time. And it's so like, it's just like these things, like maybe there's a little misalignment that we need to think about differently. I don't want you to get to your photo shoot and feel like you're being somebody you're not.
Mhm.
And this is obviously a work in progress. So you can do all these photos and then 3 days later you can discover something about yourself.
Yeah.
And so there's no right, like perfect thing, but there is giving space.
Mm.
And so a client was like crying because like, you're right. I can't do the session right now. We moved it back like 2 weeks or whatever. It wasn't
Yeah.
a big move back. It was just enough time for her to breathe because
Mhm.
she was trying to get to like, because she was excited about getting to the end product.
Yeah.
Having the photos, getting the website refreshed, having something for social media. I think she was
Yeah.
starting a podcast like at the time. I don't remember if
Rushing
I think I
through.
might be meshing a couple clients together, but either way, same idea.
Mhm.
And it was like crunch, 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 crunch. And I just felt it.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I'm just feeling like maybe we just need a little more time so you can breathe and you can think about some things. And it might not be different. The outcome of like the final product might not be different, but you'll just have space to be yourself more.
Mhm.
The fluidity of you can come. So, like, at this moment in the episode, I kind of want us to call to you watching, like, where are you crunching into? Like, is there a space in your life that you're trying to fit into a box, go towards a deadline that feels impossible,
Mhm.
or create with or around something that literally you know in the heart of hearts is not for you?
Yeah.
Are you? Because if that's the case, we want you to take a moment to breathe into it, right? And I
Mhm.
feel like you're really good about, like, breathing in. Because I mean,
Mm.
I don't know, did you touch on being a yoga teacher? Did you say
No,
that?
I didn't share
I don't think you
that.
I think we didn't share that. So she is also a yoga instructor, and
Mhm.
so I feel like you're really beautiful, and I haven't taken one of your classes in so long, so this is my command to self that I'm gonna be in a class
You
in your
better.
class. She's gonna come get me. She doesn't know where I live. But you have a beautiful way of reminding people to be present in that moment,
Mm.
and so this is our call to that. How can we call them to do that right now? Like, just maybe that's exactly what the people need in this episode, is a call to themselves.
Mm. Yeah, that's a heavy one because I think in the day and age that we're in with social media
Mhm.
and all the things on screens and people showing up in ways that might not be true or real, um, it's hard to decipher where you belong. Um, and some people, depending on your uh, life's journey up until now, um, it's harder for some people to step into themselves as it would be for their neighbors or
Yeah.
someone else. But I think that knowing and then just allowing us to be a reminder that you are here for a reason
Mhm.
and that passion that sits inside of your heart and soul, that creativity, whatever that might be, whatever your medium is, whatever lights you up, was given to you for a reason. And you would be cheating yourself, not only yourself, but all of us in the world by not stepping into and tapping into you and who you are and what feeds your soul. And um, because I truly, truly, truly believe that we are all miracles on this earth,
Mhm.
the humans that are here alive and breathing. Um, and then on top of that, the talent that you hold and the passion that you have inside your heart and soul um, is unique to you. And my passion inside my heart is not like Megan's, but it's beautiful and unique the way it is, as is hers.
Mhm.
And celebrating that um, and knowing that there's no copy and paste of you out in the world. There might be people that want to be you eventually, right? Once you do get unstuck and start flowing. But yeah, I think like you're cheating yourself and us and the universe. And I mean, I could go on um, by just staying in this stuck state. And what is one step forward? What is just one action step moving forward? Or turning the music up and dancing it out and just shaking out that stagnant energy and then sitting down
Mhm.
and trying again. All of us are trying. Every
Yeah.
single one of us is trying out there.
Yep.
Whether you're creative or not, we are all trying our best. And I think that just one step, one action of momentum, whatever that is for you, for today, tomorrow, it might be different. Um, but you owe it to yourself and to your heart to like
Mhm.
really um, just like drop into your own body, drop into yourself, um, and tap into your superpower because it's like nobody else's, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And really, like, that inward conversation, right? Because we are all so different in the way, like, Chrissy and I just explained that we do have bodily, um, I don't wanna call them symptoms, but, like, expressions, if you will, of feeling stuck.
Mhm.
However, even though we have that in common, they're different, right?
Yeah.
And so if we compare ourselves to each other, especially in this place and space that we have so many visuals of everybody doing all the things. I have a couple
Yeah.
people in my life that come to mind as you were saying that, that they're always like, "Oh, you always seem like you have it together and,
Yeah.
you got this, that, and that going." And I'm like,
Mhm.
like one of the times that one of the people said it to me, I was like literally like wearing a hat to cover like my hair that hadn't been washed in like however long, and
Mhm.
I was like just came off of not like eating something that was nourishing. It was awful breakfast. Like it was just all these things that like are the opposite of what you think like having it together would be.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just existing, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm just doing the best that I can. And like you
Right.
said, like right, like we all are just trying and we're all just
Mhm.
doing our thing. So perception of others is really important, I think, in this conversation,
Yeah.
as you touched on, because if we are perceiving somebody as having it all together, what are we not keeping in mind for ourselves?
Mhm.
Or what are we expecting of ourselves? Because A, that's your perception, and we tend to see what we want to see in other people, which is
Mhm.
fine and wonderful as long as you keep it as a healthy balance. If you're inspired by that person, oh, they seem like they're movers and shakers and they're doing in this. Okay, that might be something you want to call in for yourself. I want to be more um like that.
Mm.
But if you use it as a thing to keep yourself stuck, well, that's just them and that's how they operate.
Yeah.
That's where it gets scary. And so my reminder is to us all, myself included, is that if something's bubbling up like that, that you're seeing in other people and you're comparing,
Mhm.
stop and remind yourself that's a perception. What's the reality? Maybe, like you, I think in the last episode mentioned, like reaching out to people, asking questions.
Yeah.
Ask them. I seem to be inspired by your, whatever it might be. How do you do that?
Mhm.
Most likely people are going to go, you know,
Yeah.
they're going to have like a laundry list of things that they're like, I don't feel like I'm really doing that all that well, or
Mhm.
I'm not feeling all that creative or whatever. But then they're also going to hopefully give you something that is working for them.
Yeah.
That's why you're perceiving that in them. Um,
But then also to bounce off that, like what you see in somebody else and that comparison that you see and like you said, you see what you want to see in somebody else when you
mhm,
are in that comparison state.
mhm,
But to place that mirror right in front of
mm,
there and then knowing that whatever that is that's triggering whatever it is in you that
yeah,
you are feeling less than or insecure about, that's a signal to like look back in on yourself and like okay, well what do I feel like I am lacking in, or what do I see in them that I would like to
yes,
um hold and possess in my personality or in my artwork or whatever it is. Um, and knowing that instead of like sinking and spiraling and doom scrolling and whatever,
mm, mhm,
but like compare, but really what is that comparison mirroring back to you? And then where should you put the work in?
Yeah.
Put down the damn phone, um, and put the work in. Like if it's
Yeah.
like my biggest struggle now is video. I don't know anything about video, and I feel like to be a creative and an artist nowadays, you have to make cool videos.
Right.
And I have never ever I've never done that.
Yeah.
So instead of watching these videos and thinking I can never make one of these, it's reaching out, hey, how do you make your videos? How do you film? What do you edit in? Like your videos are super cool. Like what's your do you have a plan going into it? Whatever. But instead of comparing and getting down on myself, why not flip that around and saying, well, what am I needing more of? Oh, it's education or it's, a skill set or whatever it might be. And then going and focusing and honing in on that. Yeah, could be huge.
I love that. The world is full of resources.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people are filled with resources, and so I love that you kind of gave the reminder to go, I liked your little sound effect. You're like, it's that moment though, right? Of that.
Yeah.
And letting that turn into a and then hey, ooh.
These are a lot of sounds.
I also like alliteration, so it's like they all have like a sound, right? Yeah. But it turns from that like internal quiet to a louder moment to a hey, asking the person. Or maybe it's not necessarily a person in this situation and it's just researching, but that's still a hey to the world. Like, what do I need? What am I doing? What could be helpful in this moment? And, going back to the idea of like not always being open to asking for help or not even knowing how to ask for help. I think that's probably, if I look back over the years, probably more of my problem. I don't know how to ask for help without feeling like, oh, I'm a burden or, or I look like I don't know how to do things. And it's like, I just was raised to be like, kind of a bull, just get it done.
Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. My mom has actually said, I think I might have made you a little too independent. And I was like, okay, yep, still working on that. Still, undoing that. But it's a beautiful thing to at least be aware of where your stuck points are, kind of, and in that idea of, hey, I got quiet with myself and now I can make some sort of action and momentum out of this because I don't know. I just feel like we all know the people in our lives that like have went on before us that were like thinking, gosh, what do they really feel? What do they really want to do more of, less of, all that? I think about that often and like, I don't ever want to assume what someone left this lifetime with feeling, but you have those questions, of like, where is that? And I want to make sure that like moving into my life and the people around me that we do the best we can to at least have less of that.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder, like, no, they left this world leaving a mark on it. Like they said, bang, like there's no question. I don't want my loved ones, like my great nieces and nephews and all the people to be like, oh, there's no doubt that like she at least accomplished some of the things she wanted to. Like that's how I want to live.
Yeah.
And of course they can never know for sure exactly what was going on in my brain, but that's like, like I want to stay unstuck enough.
Yeah.
Just enough, right? To be able to do some of the things, right? And like go, hell yeah.
And I think like the stuck state is a natural flow, unfortunately, in the creative process. And it's easy for anyone, no matter what your medium is. If you're like, I don't know, a wood sculptor, what do you call that?
Carver, I think, right? Yeah, carver.
Woodworker? It's a woodworker, yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Or whatever, any other medium that you have. I think it's just a natural, like, what's the word? Like, repetitive thing. It's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I feel like I've never felt a little bit unsure or stuck or confused or frustrated. Like,
and I think it's like knowing that that's a possibility, but not like, again, forcing anything and just kind of like easing in and out of it, and just knowing that everyone experiences this. Every creative experiences this, no matter what medium you have, whatever floats your boat, whatever. That it's natural, normal, and it's just a part of life. And we can't like plan. We could have this huge project, ready to go. You're supposed to start on Friday, whatever. You get sick as hell.
Yeah.
And you have to put it off for however long. Like, that's not something that we plan. And that could throw us back into a stuck state. Like, shit, maybe this isn't meant to be or whatever. But then it goes back to the tapping in and dropping into who you are, and that little burning fire in your belly or wherever it sits for you. Just kind of tapping back into that and remembering who you are and why you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So we need to know something. So drop it in the comments. What is your feeling of stuck? Like, where do you feel it? How do you feel it? I'm interested to see like the commonalities that we have as a community, the differences we have, all this. And then let us know something that maybe is working for you to get unstuck, because I'm always looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
I always say I'm on this mic not because I'm an expert and have it all together.
Yeah, right.
But I'm on it to start the conversation.
Yeah.
And to help us all create more conversation around all of the things that we experience. And so let us know, drop in the comments, DM us, let us know what's coming up for you, and where you're feeling that, how you're feeling it. And if there's anything we can support you on too.
Yeah.
We are super here to, lend a listening ear, at least at the bare minimum, a listening ear for you to vent. I always tell people, like, if you just want to like get on a voice note and scream into the ether.
Please don't do that.
He's like, you can do that to her, but don't do that to me.
You can do that to Megan, not to me. Please don't scream at me.
She's like, no, thank you. Sound sensitivity, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it, and then I'll take the brunt for that one. But anyways, all that to say is,
you can summarize it to me later.
I feel like it was a scream that came from the bottom of the just empty stuckness feeling. No, but no, we're here, and you're not alone. As she said, we all go through it. I don't care who you are, whether you identify as a creative, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you're just over here trying to find your way and, figuring out, like, we all are stuck in some way, shape, or form at some point in life multiple times. And so this is your message, your reminder that is okay, that you are safe in that, and that there's something to extract and to sit with sometimes. And sometimes it's a little message, sometimes it's a little breaking point to like rebuild.
Yeah.
Right. And beauty can come from the breakdown. Isn't there a song? I think there's literally, is it a Florence and Machine song? I think no, what's that other artist? Oh, I can't remember. I'll think about it and I'll put it in the comments. But there's something, beauty in the breakdown. If you know it and you're like, I know, put it in the comments as well. Because I love music, but sometimes the song title and the lyrics don't match up in my brain. I just know the song, Anyways, I digress. But it's always going to come back to music or dance around here. It's always going to. So, anyways, any last unstuck thoughts for the peeps?
I don't know. I mean, don't be too hard on yourself, I think. And if life happenings are getting in the way, quote unquote, I'm doing quote fingers here, but not throwing your hands up and giving up after that. And saying, okay, well, I had to push back this project because I was sick with whatever. They're not going to want to work with me anymore. I should just give up and throw this project in the trash. Knowing that life is unpredictable. We can't plan every minute of every day. It's a natural process in the creative process, is getting stuck and unstuck, but not staying stuck.
Yeah.
There's a quote that I will repeat to myself when I am in the stuck state, and I will just repeat it until I start to feel a little more relaxed in my body, is God cannot move a parked car.
Oh.
And I don't know why this resonates with me. But it's true. If you are staying still and not taking any movement steps or making any type of momentum, even if that's just like going out for a walk, like
Yeah.
something so simple.
Getting out of bed even sometimes is literally
absolutely
a little win.
Yeah, but like I just lost my train of thought.
The parked car.
Again. Yeah, parked car. Oh yes, back to my super awesome saying. If you It's a commitment to stay stuck. Like
Ooh.
some people
Love
commit to that and they, it's doom and gloom and here's my sob story and this is blah 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 blah. Like, okay, like that's fine, but you are meant for so much more.
Yes, damn.
And to be given this talent, to be given this whatever it is for you, like that is special. And I don't think a lot of people really, it's easy for me to tell somebody else, like, you're amazingly talented. Like, that's beautiful work. Like, you are outstanding in what you do. But for some reason, turning the mirror around and saying those things and like loving on ourselves is so freaking difficult sometimes. But it's making that choice to turn the engine on.
Just a little flip of the switch.
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna come and help you. The universe is not gonna hand opportunities to you. Um, you know, nothing is going to move and get unstuck if you just stay stuck.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
I loved that you said that some people are committed to staying stuck.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get like tears in my eyes a little bit. That's like my sign of like, ooh, like, because it's really true. And it might be harsh. And if that hit you like a ton of bricks, if you're listening and you're like, I kind of am committed to staying stuck and I just allow that to be my story. It's not to call you out in any way, but it's to give you a little kind of a grounding hug almost of you've been there. It's not doing much for you. If you're listening to a podcast that has an inspirational, aspirational aspect, you must want to make some sort of a shift, right? And we've all been there. I think we've all probably had a season, but some people stay there for eons and lifetimes, whereas other people will stay there for a little bit of a time and then they'll go, like a dog shaking off the water and they'll get it out. So no matter which personality you are,
and sometimes that's someone's comfort zone is just staying stuck
or all they know.
Yeah. And they feel like they don't have the tools and the know-how to find that momentum.
Yeah.
And but yeah, if you're a creative, knowing that the creative community, the majority of the creative community is always there to support.
Yeah.
And love.
Reach out. Reach out.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Well, that's where we're going to leave you today. And hopefully something, simmered up for you or released. I urge you to take a moment to like stretch or, kind of just like move your body after listening to this one. Cause literally we started the episode talking about feeling stuck in our bodies. And so, maybe you already were doing it naturally, but if not, roll your neck or roll your shoulders, wiggle out your fingers, something, and allow some release and maybe pull in a mantra. I release feeling stuck. Whatever you want that's personal to you, but something like that would be beautiful so that you can let go of it here. That we're giving you don't need it from us at all, but we're just in case for some reason you do today, your permission to let go of the physical feelings of stuckness and the mental, emotional, energetic feelings of it as well. And I hope this finds you moving your car. And it's just even if it's to the stop sign,
right?
Even if the stop sign's 5 feet away, roll it up. Even if you're in neutral, and somebody's pushing the car, which always terrifies me. I'm like, this feels like it could go wrong so quickly. But anyways, even if it's 5 feet with somebody pushing you in neutral, let it roll. let it go, because that momentum is inevitable. And then all of a sudden you're going to turn the corner and then be down the street. And then maybe you're going to go on a cross-country road trip before you know it, baby. And so let it roll. That's oh my God, I hit my reflex. Sorry, oh my gosh. This episode is ending silly, but I would have it no other way. So, okay. As usual, if you are not subscribed, following, and have your notification bell on wherever you're listening or watching, please make sure you're doing that. Excuse me. And as always, 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 don't forget to look for the magic. Find your creative spaces to put yourself into a space of flow and magic and light, and send it our way if you've got something good you want to share. And we will see you soon.